All right, so I believe this is number 9. Make sure this is number 9 in your binder. All right, you can just number it kind of over here where it says score because it's at number 9 up in the corner. All right, for our order of operations, this should hopefully be review, but if not, we're going to take time and go through the first few slowly. Order of operations, that's where we're having to do our parentheses or our grouping symbols first, then the exponents, multiplication, and division. I'm putting those together because I do those in whichever one comes first in the problem. I don't care that M is in front of the D. It's whatever comes first in the problem. Same thing with addition and subtraction. So when I write it, it looks kind of weird. All right, but that just helps me remember. There's the acronyms. Remember that. It's please, excuse, my dear, Aunt Sally, and my dear stays together, Aunt Sally stays together. Yes, Jordan? That is absolutely fine. If you use the G for grouping symbols, that's fine. Brackets, parentheses, they're all the same. Okay? So for number 1, using our acronym over here, what should I start with on number 1? What's the first thing I should do? Ethan? 9 plus 6. So what we're going to do is we're just going to show. You need to show every step. Guys, if we're doing the order of operations, I have to see the order you do each operation. So you can only do one thing at a time so I know what order you're doing it in. All right, 9 plus 6 is? 15. I'm going to leave everything else in the problem exactly like it is. All right, so I only did what was in parentheses. Once I did what was in parentheses, did I leave my parentheses? No, I stopped writing them. All right, what's going to be next? What am I going to do next? Jackson?
3 times 15.
We're not quite ready to do 3 times 15 yet. Micah? The exponent. So that 3 to the second power right there, that is an exponent. All right? Does anyone remember what that means? 3 to the second power? Mason?
3 times 2.
Not 3 times 2. If we want to do 3 times 2, they would write that out. Lexi?
You have to, double the 3.
Okay, so what do you mean when you say that?
You could do the 3 together.
Okay, what do you mean you say that? Just tell me what to write out mathematically.
Oh, 6.
Madison? Right, 3 times 3. And you don't have to write 3 times 3. Write it over to the side like I did. That's what 3 to the second power means. It means 3 times 3. The big number is what you're multiplying. The little number is how many times. So, for example, I'm going to kind of write up here on the board. If I had, let's say, 6 to the third power. What 6 to the third power means is, what number am I multiplying? 6. How many times am I multiplying it? 3. So I would do 6 times 6 times 6. Do y'all see how that little number works there?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what it's actually doing, okay? Now, this math I'm going to do in my head. So 3 to the second power means 3 times 3, which I know is 9. So that's what I'm going to write underneath it. And I'm still writing the rest of the problem just the way it was. Okay? So we did our parentheses. We did our exponent, which is that little number. What's going to be next, Jason? Multiplication. So when I see multiply and subtract, which one comes first in the list? Our multiplying. So we're going to do that 3 times 15. All right, and if I need to go over to the side to multiply it, I can. Madison, you know what it is? 45. Perfect. And now it just says 45 minus 9. And what is 45 minus 9 going to give me, Jackson?
36.
36. Okay. And just to make it easier to find my answer. Okay. All right, are there any questions about number 1? Are we okay with that? Micah?
I don't understand the exponents.
The exponents? Okay. So I'm going to flip this over for just a second. If you want to flip it over, this is probably a good idea. Real quick. 5 to the second power. What number am I multiplying? 5. How many times am I multiplying it?
2.
2. And what is 5 times 5?
25.
25. That's all it's saying. If I have 2 to the 4th power, what number am I multiplying?
2.
2. How many times?
4 times.
4. So that means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. All right? 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is
16.
If I had, someone asked about this in one of the other classes, if I had like 8 to the 1st power, what number am I multiplying?
8.
8. How many times do I need it? 1. So is there anything else to do?
No.
No. All right, Isabella?
On the first one, they have
What was your question?
on the first one, times
We multiplied what times 3? The exponent, because 3 was the big number. The little number tells you how many times to use it. Okay? So like, do you see right here? 5, right here, 5 is my big number. My 2 means I'm using it twice. Here, 2 is my big number. My 4 means I'm doing it 4 times. Okay? All right. Other questions? Okay. All right. Let's look at number 2. And we're going to see exponents on all these problems, so we'll be able to practice some more with it. Yes, Jordan? All right, this wasn't 2 times 4, it was 2 to the 4th power, which means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's how I'm getting the 16. Okay, we're going to practice with some exponents tomorrow, because that is one thing that was brought to my attention today through practicing these, that we haven't done a whole lot of exponent work. Just fine. We'll do it tomorrow. No big deal. Okay? All right. So on number 2, every single time between these problems, I like having that, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It takes 2 seconds to write, and it's easy to follow once it's right there next to the problem. All right, order of operations. What are we going to start with? Madison. Perfect. She said we're starting with parentheses, but Madison said we're going to start with the first parentheses. Because remember, how many things can you do at once? One thing at a time. So we're going to do this 9 plus 2 because that's what's in the first parentheses. Do y'all see this little bitty 2 here?
Yes.
All right. This freaked some of my advanced classes out. When they saw that little bitty 2, they were like, I don't know what to do with that. All right, guys. Is that in the parentheses?
No.
All right. Is that in the parentheses? No? So do I need to worry about it right now? No. The only thing I care about right now is inside parentheses it says 9 plus 2. And what is 9 plus 2 going to give me?
11.
11. Thank you, Madison, for raising your hand appropriately. All right. That little 2 was next to the parentheses, yes?
Yes.
So that little 2 is just going to stay next to the 11. All right. I'm not doing anything special with it, okay? Plus, parenthesis, 18 divided by 6. All right. What are we going to do next? Raise your hand if you can tell me. Jackson.
The exponent.
Not quite. It's tempting to jump to the exponent, but we're not quite ready. Griffin?
The numbers in the parentheses.
The other parenthesis. The other parenthesis is what we need next. So I still have my 11 to the 2nd power plus, what is 18 divided by 6 going to give me, Jackson?
3.
3. All right. Now, what can I do, Jackson?
The exponent.
Now I can do my exponent. All right, Isabella, coming to you real quick because I know you had a question about this earlier. 11 to the 2nd power. What does that actually mean we're doing mathematically? We're multiplying 11, but we're not doing 11 times 2, or it would say 11 times 2. We're multiplying 11 times 11, and we're multiplying it twice. You see there's 1, 2 numbers. That's what that 2 is for. Okay? So 11 times 11, what does that give me? 11 times 11, Mason? 121, and then we still have plus 3. So now 121 plus 3. What do I get as my answer here? Micah? 124. Okay. Questions about number 2? All right. Do you see how I'm putting these little marks to show what step I'm doing on each one of them? If you don't have a highlighter, that is absolutely fine. Just put those little marks showing me what you're working on. All right. Number 3. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. What do I want to do first on number 3? Jason. The parentheses. That first step is always the easiest. It's always going to be parentheses. If they're not there, then we can go to the next one, but that's what we're always looking for. So I'm looking for parentheses. I got them. In fact, I got a lot of stuff going on in the parentheses. How do I know what to do first? Jordan? Very good catch. So Jordan caught herself. Multiplication is tempting because it does come before the adding, but then she's not. There's that little exponent down at the end. So we're going to do that exponent first. All right, awesome catch there. All right, 5 to the second power. What does that mean we're doing mathematically? Gray. 5 times 5. Better? Okay. 5 times 5, what does that give me? 25. We still have our plus 10. We still have our times 5. And we still have our minus 9. I'm just bringing everything else down. Just rewriting it just like it looks. Make sure that your work and my work look the same and you have everything written in. Alright, Ethan, what's going to be next? So we're still inside the parentheses. Inside the parentheses, it does say 5 times 10. We need to multiply first before we add. 5 times 10 gives me 50 plus 25 minus 9. Make sure we still have the parentheses. Alright, now what do I need to do? Tyler? Your parentheses. And what do we get when we do 50 plus 25? Gage? 75 minus 9. And 75 minus 9. What's that give us, Nolan? 66. Okay. All right. Questions about number 3? Jason?
If it wasn't in the parentheses, would you go left to right? If the number is 5 times 10 plus 5 to the second power, if it wasn't in parentheses, would you go left to right?
You would still just go in this order, which is basically the order we did it. All right, the parentheses here didn't really change anything. Yes?
So on the top where it says 5 times 10 plus 5 to the second power, couldn't you do 5 times 10 and 5 to the second power? To make it easier?
If we were not covering order of operations right now, like if you were just using your order of operations, yes. But because I'm testing you on the order that you're doing the operation, I need to see what order. So you can only do one at a time, so I know which one actually comes first in the problem. Does that make sense? All right. Once we get to where we're just doing this in our work, and it's part of a process, not what I'm actually checking, then we'll be able to take some shortcuts. For right now, no shortcuts. That's an excellent question, Gray. Yes, Jordan? All right, Ms. Jordan, what's going to be first? Hold on, let me write my please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All right, what comes first, Jordan? In the parentheses, we got our 9 minus 3, and what's that going to give me? 6. So I have 6 times, do I need the parentheses anymore around that 6? No. Plus 6 to the second power. Okay? What am I going to do next? Ethan. Exponent? We're going to do that exponent, the 6 with that 2, the 6 to the second power. And 6 to the second power means, just a reminder, and you'll see I'm writing this every single time in my notes, just because when I start doing this on my own, I don't want to forget. What does that give me, Gage? 36. So I get 36 there. We still have our plus, and we still have that 6 times 6 that was at the beginning. Okay. What's next? Mason. 6 times 6. And what does that give me, Mason? 36 again. So now I have 36 plus 36. Final answer, Griffin? 72. Yes. 72. Okay. Number 5. What are we going to do first here? Tyler. The first parentheses. Now inside these first parentheses, I have a minus, and that this time the 2 is inside. So what am I going to do first out of those two, Madison? We're going to do the exponent. So 2 to the second power means 2 times 2. What does that give me, Madison? 4. So I still have the parentheses here because I still have my minus sign in there. But 32 minus 4 in the parentheses divided by 7 minus 5 in the parentheses. Okay? Now what? Adrian? What are we going to do next? It is tempting. Do I still have any parentheses in this problem though? Yeah, so we're going to have to do that. Which one's going to come first? 32 minus 4 because it's first in the problem. So 32 minus 4 is going to give me 28 divided by 7 minus 5 is still in parentheses. So now what do I need to do? Ella? 7 minus 5. So I get 28 divided by 2, which is now just a one step, and 28 divided by 2 is what, Jake? 14. Alright guys, when you're doing your work tonight, or when you're doing the next 5 problems, which if you do not finish is homework, but we have the class period and we're working on that so we can look at them if you have questions. Every problem that we just did, there's one very similar to it on the other side. So if you don't know what to do, you should be able to look back at another problem. If you need help, I'm here. Ms. Huerta's here. We'll be happy to help you. We should be spending the rest of the period working on these. Make sure you're using your time wisely. All right?